We all knew this day was coming. Ark, Studio Wildcard, release dates, you know that's just not a reliable mixture. Plus, there's a brand new price point for ASA, a huge amount of new adjustments to release schedules, and man, ASA was just turned upside down. Welcome back to the channel. This is LukeTheDuke, and I've got you covered for all the latest in Ark news, and believe me, there's a ton of it, so let's get started. First off, I've taken the last few crunches off. I took a much-needed family vacation, which, completely unrelated to the time off, turned into a tragic loss, losing my father. So, it's been an intense past few weeks for me. I appreciate all your well wishes and DMs, and so when we got the Ark news last night, I kind of weighed the pros and cons and decided to throw myself back into the loop, and yeah, here we are, and away we go. Now, before we begin, remember to smash that big, beautiful subscribe button. And while you're at it, make sure to ring the notifications bell to receive my latest upload alerts. Also, likes, comments, shares are always appreciated. As always, I'm going to include a link to this week's Ark Community Crunch. This is number 368 down in the video description and pinned comments below. As of the posting of my video, this Studio Wildcard forum post is now 13 hours old. A little late to the game, but it's really important information, so I decided to jump back in, throw my hat into the ring, and you know what? Wildcard pretty much tells us everything we need to know in the first 3 to 4 paragraphs. They've confirmed they've decided to delay the launch of Ark Survival Ascended to later this year. I know it's a bummer, but we all expected it. They're going to ship the title on Xbox Series XS, PS5, and PC in October 2023. You know, and you probably felt that this day was coming. All we've seen is this concept art comparisons between ASE and ASA. No actual footage, no actual in-game gameplay, nothing. You had to have known this date was coming. They explain why. They say they're struggling down here with Unreal Engine 5.2. They say it's an incredibly and exciting and challenging experience, but with what they've learned, it's actually, I guess, really stressing the team. They say combined with the work needed to support a fully cross-platform moddable game ecosystem on consoles and PC, it's clear that we'll need a bit more time. So at this point, they pushed it back 2 months. I am still predicting right here and now, this is July the 1st, that this is going to be the first of maybe 2 to 3 pushbacks that we're going to see. I fully expect ASA to go into early access or launch sometime in 2024. But they continue on down here. We've also decided to separate, this is interesting, the release date of the Island and Scorched Earth. Those were supposed to go in tandem when ASA went live. Here they are, they're going to be split. With what we've learned about remastering the Island from the ground up, it wouldn't be feasible to complete Scorched Earth to a standard we're happy with. So for now, we're going to plan that Scorched Earth will be coming to ASA in December this year. Ragnarok and Aberration will follow in Q1 2024. And wow, the rest of the maps beyond then. So with everything being pushed back from what I'm seeing, this is definitely going to bleed into, assuming that Ark 2 is launching when they say late in 2024, it's going to bleed completely over and into Ark 2's reported launch date unless Ark 2 gets pushed back like we're all expecting as well. So they say, given the news, ASA will now be launching into an early access price point of $44.99, that's USD, with a launch discount bringing it to $39.99. So you got to pay $5 more to get it in early access. Start off with the Island, and then get that trickle feed of content until I guess everything is out, and then at that point you can pick it up, what, a year later at $39.99. Interesting. I think that price point's probably going to drop as well, and I would hold out until it does. We had initially planned to ship more content on day 1, but that won't be happening, so we're adjusting the launch price accordingly. You know what? Wildcard, if any of you at the studio are listening to this, here's what you need to do. If you want to bring it into early access, drop it down to $19.99, maybe $25, and then put out a more I guess, extensive roadmap saying these dates, these content drops, etc., etc., I bet you're going to get a lot more early access pre-sales than a $45 game that's going to be coming out with just a base experience, right? It's, from what I'm reading up there, this is going to be ASA and Unreal Engine 5.2 and just the island. They keep dangling that carrot out there, right? They say, we know you really want to get your hands on ASA. And of course, people that have sunk 3, 4, 5, 10, 15,000 hours into Ark want to see their baby remastered into the next-gen tech so it looks better, it plays better, everything functions better. At least that's the hope. And they say, and we appreciate that support and enthusiasm. I wonder how long that's going to last if they keep pushing back and just posting these comparison assets. Let's jump down a little further because the rest of this doesn't really matter. We've seen this before, right? When will we see gameplay? We know you're excited, curious, and skeptical. I would have highlighted, double bolded, and underlined skeptical, but they say we understand. Our plan is to show gameplay close to the launch of ASA, as that'll be when it's completely ready and best represents the final product, so you have to stay tuned until then. So again, no gameplay. This would have been the perfect opportunity to kind of calm that skepticism with the delays, to show just a little snippet. So show something from in the in-game engine instead of these comparison shots they keep showing. So they continue on. Is there going to be a change to the date when Ark SE's official network comes offline? Because remember, originally the official servers were going to shut down in August along with the simultaneous launch of ASA. So naturally, that's going to be changed as well. We're now planning on shutting down the official network on September the 30th. Given the slight delay in the launch of the game. So they're going to shut down the official servers in September, late September, and then launch ASA in October. So I guess in theory you could have a couple weeks there, at least for, I guess, official servers that you would not be able to play. That is definitely interesting. They don't actually mention anything in there, but I guess I'm reading a little bit between the lines there. They also continue on. They're working with Nitrado to try to make sure that the save file system works so you can bring your official saves over from ASE into ASA. Apparently that is not working, I guess. At this point, they're also stating that our intention is to take multiple saves, so they can give you basically a series of options to pick which save you want to pull over and I guess import over into ASA. Let's continue on. With Scorched Earth being delayed, will there be server transfers? They're not going to be supporting server transfers at the launch of ASA. This feature will become enabled when Scorched Earth releases in December. So this is going to be very much like the original launch of Ark. One map and go. Very interesting. So it's going to be just, the island over and over and over again, right? So, that is interesting. How long should we expect the title to be in early access? I have this question as well. It says ASA will leave early access in late 2024. Let me say that again. It's going to leave EA in late 2024 once all the content has finished its next generation remastering. So if Ark 2 is set to launch in late 2024, that means ASA will still be in EA and could potentially bleed over and across Ark 2, assuming that Ark 2 launches at the end of 2024 and not into spring 2025 that we've kind of seen mentioned. So it's going to stay in EA for a long time, and they're going to continue to deliver drip feeds of content. Very interesting. Next point here, are there going to be any changes to the release date or release order, of certain content? Generally, we will keep the canonical maps released in the same order. We may make some adjustments with some of the non-canon maps and release them sooner, but that's honestly depends more on our pipeline, so we'll announce them accordingly. Okay. So, what I don't see here is any mention of the new, I guess, what would they say? It's going to be a canonical map, but it was new content, I guess, for ASA that was mentioned in previous Crunch Post, I don't see anything about that. Is that going to be delivered at the end of this year, or will that be pushed out until late 2024, 2025? That is a good question they should have answered here. I don't see anything about it. Will we be seeing more ASA concepts? Yep, they say yep. We intend to keep showing you guys progress on the visual changes between Ark Survival Ascended and ASA and the lead up to the game's launch. No, that's not what the community wants. The community wants to see in-game live footage, not the side-by-side comparisons. And in fact, here is the next comparison. Look at this. ASA primitive weapon comparison. You got a pickaxe, an axe, a bow, an arrow, and a club, and honestly, it doesn't look that much different. This is definitely not what the community needed. They needed something big, substantial, weighty, meaty from ASA to kind of calm that skepticism, and this is what Wildcard has delivered. I am not in agreement with that. Dang. Anyway, we continue on. They've got all sorts of maintenance coming up. Switch news. Ark Genesis Part 1 on Nintendo Switch. A Switch Summer Bash. So, Switch gets a Summer Bash, but I guess the rest of the community does not. Interesting. All sorts of sales on maps for Switch and an Evo event with the normal 2 up to 5 times harvesting. And then of course it goes down into the community corner, which I don't normally touch on in these. So what I am missing in here is anything substantial from ASA, gameplay, in-game footage, something like that. I'm fully expecting a further delay. I think this is the first in a round of delays we're going to see for ASA. Price point has been lowered. I don't believe low enough. This needs to be roughly half the price from its original offering, which I believe is right around $60. I would say $20 to $25 is what it needs to be in early access, and then if they want to lower it down from there, they're welcome to do so. But EA access sounds like it's going to be an exorbitantly long time. You're talking about a year for a game that's already released. It's just a remaster of the game, and it's going to be an EA for nearly a year. You know what I'm also missing, and I'm just going to highlight all this stuff. I don't see anything from Wildcard concerning the community bans, the PvP, the snail saga. I don't see any mention of it. I guess they're just going to pull the old ostrich and try and bury their heads in the sand and hope this goes away. They probably can't answer, or maybe they don't want to answer. They're just going to try and wait it out. Anyone listening at Studio Wildcard, it's not going away. You need to address it. And that's all I'm going to say on that. So there you go. TLDR with my thoughts involved. But as always, I look forward to reading your feedback. What do you think about all of this? The delays for ASA, the breaking up of the packages, the lowering of the prices. Sound off about all of it, any of it, down in the comment section below, and of course I will do my best to respond. In case you haven't yet done so, please take just a moment to smash that big beautiful subscribe button and ring the notifications bell to receive my latest upload alerts. Also, if you could take a few seconds more to rate and or share this video, that would be greatly appreciated. Remember, you can find and follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, and of course in my open community Discord server, links to all of which can be found in the video description and pinned comments below. Shout out to the over 123,000 of you that have stuck with me. You've taken that leap, you hit subscribe, and I greatly appreciate that. And of course, a very special thank you goes over to my patrons over on Patreon. Until the next one, this is LtBuzzLitebeer, signing off.